Sziasztok, hi everyone, I'm Sándor, welcome to another Hungarian lesson. Let's see how to say, that's what I call XYZ in Hungarian. Let's kick it. So, today's pattern looks like this. Ezt nevezem plus noun or adjective plus nak or nek, depending on the rules of vowel harmony. So yes, if you want to say, that's what I call great, or that's what I call food, or whatever, we use the nak, nek suffixes after a noun or an adjective. These suffixes are officially used for the dative case, meaning to someone or something, or for someone or something. But their usage is a lot more vast than that. This is one example. But let's take a closer look at this pattern. Ezt is the demonstrative pronoun ez, meaning this, with the object particle added. So our object in this sentence is this. Interestingly enough, English uses that, Hungarian uses this in this case. Nevezem means I call. It comes from the infinitive nevezni, which can mean to enter a competition, but in this case it means to call or to name. Not as in calling someone on the phone, but more like calling someone or something as something. Nevezem is actually a definite conjugation because we have a definite object in this sentence marked by the demonstrative pronoun ez. Let's see some examples. Let's say you're watching a great football game where both teams are just giving their all. You can say, ezt nevezem játéknak. Ezt nevezem játéknak. That's what I call a game. But literally it means something more like, that's what I call as game. And then let's say your favorite team wins with a ridiculously high score. You can say, ezt nevezem győzelemnek. Ezt nevezem győzelemnek. That's what I call a win. Győzelem is a win or a victory. Or let's say you go to a restaurant, you order some food, and it's so good you actually get surprised. You can say, ezt nevezem ételnek. Ezt nevezem ételnek. That's what I call food. And actually, if you want to add a bit more emphasis, you can put the word én, meaning I, into this sentence after the verb. Ezt nevezem én ételnek. Ezt nevezem én ételnek. You know, Hungarian is pro-drop for the most part, meaning you can drop the pronouns, but you can add a bit more emphasis here by using it. But since in everyday speech we rarely say étel, you can say, ezt nevezem én kajának. Ezt nevezem én kajának. Kaja is a slang term for food, but it's much more often used than étel. Or let's say you're at a party and the music is really not to your liking. But then suddenly your favorite song comes on and you go, ezt nevezem én zenének. Ezt nevezem én zenének. That's what I call music. Yeah, zene is music. And of course you can use this pattern for adjectives too, like ezt nevezem én jónak. Ezt nevezem én jónak. That's what I call good. Ezt nevezem én rossznak. Ezt nevezem én rossznak. That's what I call bad. Ezt nevezem én könnyűnek. Ezt nevezem én könnyűnek. That's what I call light or easy, depending on the context. Ezt nevezem én nehéznek. Ezt nevezem én nehéznek. That's what I call heavy or difficult, again, depending on the context. But what if you want to say, now that's what I call XYZ? Well, it's really easy. You just have to add the magic word na at the beginning of the sentence. It has no meaning of its own, but it's used for added emphasis a lot of times. So, na ezt nevezem én játéknak. Now that's what I call a game. Na ezt nevezem én zenének. Now that's what I call music. Na ezt nevezem én leckének. Now that's what I call a lesson. As a closer, I'd like to talk a little bit about the phrase ezt nevezem. If you just say that, then it's a fixed expression and it has a totally different meaning. Actually, it can have multiple meanings. If you saw my video on the phrase az igen, then you're good because a lot of times they're interchangeable. So it can mean cool, awesome, or great job even. Let's say you collect records and you find something rare and dear to your heart. You can say, ezt nevezem. Ezt nevezem. It means, this is so cool. Or let's say you're a boss and you have a small team and they do a fantastic job. You can say, ezt nevezem. Again, it can mean, this is cool, but in this case it's more of an acknowledgement of their work, so it can mean, great job. Sometimes you can use it in negative situations as well, but obviously the tone of your voice will be different. Ezt nevezem. ezt nevezem. If you say it like that, then it means this sucks or this is bad. It's mostly used for situations or judging someone's action. I wouldn't use this in a negative way describing a piece of music, for example. In a positive way, absolutely. But if you want to be sarcastic, it's mostly used when something unfortunate happens or when someone does something stupid. Na, ezt nevezem én magyarázatnak. Now, that's what I call an explanation. Thank you for studying with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. And if you feel like supporting the channel even more, my paper information is in the description. See you in the next lesson. Sziasztok! A viszontlátásra!